What's going on, everybody? Let's get everything going together. It's Coach Harper here for the Ask Me Anything video here. Let me get this
Recording
going.
in progress.
This thing's going. All right, so cool. Welcome to the Ask Me Anything. I'm going to be answering your questions here live on this feed here, okay? Live on this feed here. So if you have a questions, you can type those questions down in the chat. I will be answering those questions. I'm also going to go into some of the questions that I got prior to this live. I'm going to answer those first. So as you guys are coming in, get ready to ask your questions. You can put your questions down in the chat. If you're here on the Zoom, then make sure that you just mute on the Zoom, and then when I'll call on you, you can ask your question there, or you can just type it down in the chat to ask your question, okay? Okay, cool. So, and we're gonna get started. The first thing I wanna do is I want to address this question that I got beforehand, and it's coming from Richard, and he says, I want my son to improve his 100 time by 4 seconds and his 200 meter time by 7 seconds in 3 months. Is that possible? What do you recommend to do to reach these goals? Okay, so Richard, like I told you before, I'm not going to say that that's impossible, but it will be challenging, okay? And it's going to be depending on whether he's running incorrectly or if he's actually running correctly. If he's running incorrectly, you have a larger ability to increase that speed. If they're running properly, then you have a smaller ability to increase that speed that quickly in such a short amount of time. Okay, as you guys know, if you guys have been following me for a little while, you know that I've had kids drop 5-6 seconds in about a week or 2 weeks, and it also depends on the distance there. In 100 meters, dropping 4 seconds in 100 meters is very, very extremely hard to do, unless, again, like I said, they're not running properly. If they're not running properly, then there's things that we can do to adjust that can actually drop them a couple of seconds very quickly. If they are running properly, then there are some speed things that we have to work on. For example, we might have to do, well, we will have to do some resistance training as far as running with sprint bands, and we're going to have to do some overtraining, is what we call it, overtraining, where we're actually pulling them with the band so that their legs turn over quicker. And when you start doing that, you'll start seeing significant drops in performance when you start doing that. So if it's proper running, if we're not running properly just yet, then what we need to do is we need to get them running properly. And then once we get them to run properly, you'll start seeing a huge drop with that. Then after they learn how to run properly, then we need to start resisting them so they can learn some more force application. That means how much force they're putting in the ground, which is propelling them forward. And then some overtraining by actually pulling them so they can actually get their what we call a turnover, their legs turning over quicker, all right, to activate some of those fast twitch muscles. So can it be done? Absolutely, it can be done. It's very challenging. If like I said, if they're running properly, it's very challenging. If they're not running properly, then there's a greater chance for that to happen in 3 months. Like I said, we had kids do it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and that could very well be because they were running improperly. So that's what I would tell you on that. Okay. So if you guys were listening and paying attention, you just got that speed work tip. Okay, pulling, overtraining, getting them to move their legs faster, and then resistance is helping them learn how to put more force into the ground. So I would do resistance first, and then we'll switch over to overtraining and actually pulling them and then we'll start seeing those results very, very quickly. All right? Okay. Anybody else have a question for this? Have a question for me. So you just ask me anything. Floor is open. If you let me check this here. See if there's any questions down below. I don't see any questions here. All right. If you got a question, just ask. Just type it in the chat. There's a couple people here. I'm trying to make sure that I get this control panel is going to show me everything I need to see. Okay. All right. Any more questions?
I'm topping one out.
All right. Go ahead.
Should I top it out or can I ask you straight?
Yeah, you can go ahead and ask. Go ahead.
So I'm brand new. I signed up today. I've got 2 boys, 11 and 12 years old. One of them's pretty quick. The other one's not.
Okay.
I am play basketball, and my older son is very. He's a great athlete, but he runs with his arms kind of going across his chest, like you've mentioned in a couple of videos.
All right.
And he runs flat feet. So when I saw your videos, the reason I signed up is because I think his form is bad, and but I don't know that I trust myself teaching him these things. Oh. Is that crazy, or is that the way most people are?
Well, some people have that, but one of the girls that I mentioned, the mom, she didn't know anything about running, and she just followed the steps that were in the book, and her daughter was able to drop that amount of time in just 2 weeks. So if you just follow everything that's there, obviously you're in the group. So when you're in the group, then if you have any other questions, then I'll be there to kind of fill you in on some of those things. So if you have questions, you can just pop the question in the group, and so I'll be able to answer that. And for those of you who don't know what group I'm talking about the Fast Lane, and that group is free if you once you jump in and grab the Speed to Dominate program, which is going to be linked down below for those. Did that answer your question?
Yes, sir. I appreciate, the simplicity of your videos and everything. Just sometimes, as a parent, you're like, all right, is this going to work? But I do appreciate that, and I do appreciate the step-by-step.
All right, you're welcome. Also, here's another tip for you. If you put them in that position, remember we talked about, or you've seen some of the videos where they get in that position, they stand up tall, get up on the toes, big chest, arm swing correctly. If you put them in a position where they're standing on one leg, one knee up, arm up here, one arm here, the other arm in the other position back, and just have them feel that position. Have them hold that position and let them feel it for a couple of seconds, put it down, do the other side, and just have them hold that. And then once you do it, you ask them, you say, do you know how, you see how that feels? Let them feel it. I learned a long time ago is when the athlete is able to feel what it feels like to run properly or whatever they're doing, then it makes it easier for them to recognize when they're doing it incorrectly, if that makes sense. So let them feel what it feels like to be there, and then have them do it again, whatever you're working on. So if you're like working on high knees or whatever you're working on, put them in that position, let them feel what it feels like, even if you're doing your strides or your what do we call it, the stride outs or the form runs, okay? So let them feel what it feels like, ask them how does it feel, and then tell them to do it again, and you'll be able to see some results with that. Okay? All right. So it looks like we're looks like we're good. I think this was pretty easy, huh? You got any more questions? If you got another question, shoot it, man. If not, and we can hop off of here. It wasn't. It was just this is for you guys. This is whatever you needed.
No, that's great. I sure appreciate your time and look forward to it. I think, myself, it's something I've noticed all year long, and then all of a sudden you popped up on my queue, so I really appreciate you.
You're welcome, man. Thank you. And are you in the Fast Lane group?
Yes, sir. I signed up today.
Okay, cool. So yeah, stay in there. I'm there. I'm in there a couple times a day, just making sure I'm answering all the questions and everything. And got any questions? Just let me know, and I'll answer those.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, so we're gonna hop off of here, man. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for coming in, asking your questions, and we'll be talking to you soon. All right, make sure if you're here, you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you never miss an upload. Go ahead and do that right now. This will be available to you on the playback, all right? Make sure if you want to grab the Speed to Dominate program, the one that we've been talking about, it's going to be linked down below. Right now, we're running a special for it. It's only $10. You're going to get 21 speed drill videos, 4 weeks of speed workouts, a speed tracker, and a nutrition guide for just $10. And also, you're going to get absolutely for free access to that Fast Lane program that you heard one of the people talking about, where you're going to be able to get help from me. You're going to be able to ask questions. You're going to be able to post videos. I do live videos in there for you, free live videos, to just kind of help you along with everything that you got going on. All right. So with that being said, man, I'll talk to you guys soon. You have an amazing day. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you never miss an upload.